Knowledge is something from the unknown to the known. When the child or the student, no matter what his age is, has that respect for a person who is having some knowledge, in the course of time they will learn it. Parent has to understand, to be patient, sit together, eat together, maybe even cook together. That may help them create that bonding.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host Seema, and I welcome you all to another insightful session on great principles. Parent involvement does have an impact on children, and kids need to know that we care, that the parents care. Dear parents, your involvement in your student school is so much more important than you might realize. In this episode, we chat with Mrs. Iman about the impact of parental involvement, the benefits kids reap from it, and so much more. So please join me in welcoming Mrs. Iman. She is principal of Hidayah Islamic International School, Hyderabad. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. I'm really honored to have you with me today.
Thank you, ma'am. Same here.
So, ma'am, before we dig into very interesting topic of the today of parental involvement, which yes has changed a lot post pandemic, there has been a lot of things which is happening. We would first like to know a little about you. What has been your journey in education? What has been some tough times and some rewarding moments for you?
Yes, ma'am. Myself, Iman here, principal of Hidayah Islamic International School. My journey was a journey which was like, a twist and turn, I would say, because I started my career as a medical student. I'm a physiotherapist by profession, and later moved into education. Okay, so my experience started somewhere in Malaysia, and I was locally, working in India before working in Malaysia. So I was a senior lecturer there for around 2 years, and I felt, practically being a consultant, a physiotherapist, than teaching students, being a good doctor in their future. So then, when I moved back to India, I got an opportunity to work with a school, and from there as a teacher, and then moving, I believe, quickly as a principal today.
All right. So, ma'am, which have been some of the challenging moments and how did you tackle them in this journey?
Uh, Challenging moments for me were back there in Malaysia, where language was an issue, but yet I felt that I was more respected as an Indian teacher over there, or an Indian physiotherapist over there, where they value Indians as someone who hold a lot of knowledge and high IQ, and that there was at times where my students were elder than me, and there was something, I had to be stern, at the same time understand that, they should respect me apart of my age, which was falling low at that time.
So true, when we generally have this thing that students are always younger to teacher, but this kind of situation always, comes in front of a physiotherapist, especially who is teaching their children. So, what was the reaction of the students when they saw that, okay, this is a young physician teacher and she's younger than to us. So, how did they accept you gradually or was it instantaneous? How was the process like?
The approach was like, they were like, okay, she is someone who is young, but at the same time she is a teacher. So I felt respect was the only thing that held them, together. At the same time, knowledge, knowledge is something from the unknown to the known. When the child or the student, no matter what his age is, has that respect for a person who is having some knowledge. So that is something I felt had an, additional this thing, feathers in my cap, I believe.
Right. And it take backs to our roots also, that respect the elders, whatever, the
Yes.
guru and the student relationship. So through your this journey, one thing I realized that learning never has any age. We should be open and we should be very receptive to learn
Yes.
from anyone in our walk of life. So to all my dear parents, students, teacher, everyone who's listening us out there, please try and imbibe this quality in you. Many times we just ignore the people, those who are younger to us, but there is so much that we can learn from them. So moving ahead in our conversation, ma'am, so we discussed about the challenges that you faced, and now tell me, which has been the most rewarding moment of yours as an educator?
Rewarding moment is again when the student comes back to you. During the COVID times, we were there here at school, and I used to get calls from my past, students back there from other country, Malaysia. They are into army now. They are an army physiotherapist now. They are football coaches now. So when you look at them, their achievement is through you, and you enjoy it. You just enjoy
Certainly.
that moment when they just give you a call in that army, a uniform, and they just are smiling at you, ma'am, where are you, how are you? And that much is enough. Even in during difficult times, that much is, yes, we just want to know India is hit badly, and we want to know how you are. And that will be, very overwhelming movement when the students come back to you and discuss about their branches they are moving into, and they say that, ma'am, we have learned a lot from you, we want to be someone like you. And that is the moment where you stay and you feel happy. Okay, you're giving that image to them, and they feel stronger when they think about you. That's it.
Yeah. So true, there cannot be anything more rewarding than having this feeling that I have shaped so many lives and so many kids look up to me,
Yeah.
this feeling that, okay, I am someone's mentor. They are coming to me, they are worried about me. That's the biggest feeling. So wonderful, ma'am. So moving ahead to our today's topic of discussion, that is parental involvement in education. Well, the entire definition of parenting has changed over past decade. We have seen that now, when we talk about parental involvement, there comes two things in our mind. One, parents, those who are helicopter parents, they just want to drool everywhere, and the other ones are those who don't find enough time to get be involved in their child's education. While today's parent is very possessive, and they also look forward, whether I'm sorry, I'm telling saying this, but I'm also myself a parent. However, I say at times I just can't agree that yes, my child went wrong. And many a times we just blame school or teachers that they only don't do anything. So what are these challenges, the parents, those who are trying to fit in but not able to involve? How would you successfully involve them, and what impact it will create on child?
Yes. See, parent is the main resource. Parents don't understand that. That is something which comes with them. Like if a simple addition, if the child has not learned, the parent will be very worried, okay, what my child will do. See, in the course of time, they will learn it. Parent has to understand to be patient. At the same time, the same patience they have to teach their children. It is okay if he is not learning addition in first go. They may learn it later. They may learn it over an activity. They may learn it even after the exam. It's okay, they will learn it. Few students learn it early, few students learn it late. But we have parents who say that they are learning nothing. It's not possible for the students when you're giving an environment and they are not learning. They are learning by observing. They are learning by keeping things in mind. They are learning even by not learning. They know that they have not learned it. They are learning there also. So certain things I feel with the parent involvement, like simple addition, even if the child has not done at school, the parent can just spare 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes with the coins or with some fruits and make them understand this is addition, you go back. So this helps the child, that mini minute, that small minute will help the child understand that mama knows and even the teacher knows. So there is the setback, that background setup for the student will be enough for him to understand that he is in a very safe and a strong environment where everything is helping him learn. But this ending up in a matter where the parent feels that he is learning nothing may end the child being worried that everyone is teaching and he is not learning.
Ma'am, you mentioned that while teaching your students, your children, parents, you need to be patient. And I think this is where we all don't possess the quality of being patient. We just want our child, we just get frustrated because teaching is hard. It's an art and not everyone has it. So the parents start just jumping and shouting and yelling at the kid, you can't understand this much, and that is where the child becomes demotivated. So what would you guide our parents, that how can they influence more positive environment in the house and motivate the child rather than just demotivating that no, you're good for nothing, you just play around, you just fool around, you don't study. So what would be your tips like?
I mean, that's what environment is very essential here, where the parent has to understand, give out time. See, if they have to manage a routine, I do understand we have a very limited time where everyone is very busy in a very limited space. So that space has to be managed. It's very essential. At the same time, a single hold on the shoulder, a sweet hug, the warmth should be made, the child should feel it. Only then the child understand he is safe and can learn there. And we parents, they become impulsive, at times when the child is not able to learn, they become impulsive and they feel, okay, I'm not getting help anywhere. At the same time, what happens is he, adapts the same quality of being stubborn and saying, okay, I don't want to learn. So there is the route where the child moves. We have to understand. It's okay, everyone understands in their own way. Children are of different types and they understand in their own way. And give them time to learn. And it is not possible that a normal growing child will not learn addition at all. That is also highly impossible.
Yeah, so we need to respect the pace at which the child learns, and every child learns differently. So we just can't compare with his or her friends. That look at them and look at you. That is wrong somewhere. As we as parents expecting these, ma'am. When I teach my daughter, there is one more thing which I feel. At times, I feel that maybe she's lagging behind because I'm not doing enough, or I'm not giving her that much time. So I'm sure there must be many parents like me who must be feeling like this guilty. So, and in this guilt,
Yes.
when we try to do, we overdo it at times, and then the anger creeps in, the guilt converts into anger, and then it
Yes.
comes out. So wow, how would you guide us, and many parents like me, that whatever time you're giving, be patient with the
Yes.
time there.
Yeah, that's what mostly I advise the parents. A very simple technique, when they are giving time to the child, stay focused. Give it entirely. Let it be 2 minutes. Let it be 4 minutes. It's all right. Just be focused. Keep your, everything by the side and just understand he is just a child, a small child who would like to be helped by you. And many parents are guilty of it because they are working, they feel that I'm not giving that time. The best thing with, around 7 years of age is sleep talking, where the child will be sleeping. The first 1 hour, you can just talk to the child and make him understand. Okay, my dear son, you can take the name of the child, Rohit, Seema, whatever. I'm there for you. I'm there. Just come around anytime. So the child will be hearing you, and somewhere in the subconsciousness, he feels safe there with that help around.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with this because I'm hearing this over and over again, that the sleep talk definitely helps the children, and the power of subconscious mind is immense, which we have not even yet found out, yeah, how much
Yes.
that thing can help. So yes, ma'am, that's a wonderful tip that you have shared with us. And my dear parents, since we have brought these young children in this world, it's our responsibility to take care of them. And yes, work will keep on going, but ultimately we are working for them. So please find out some time, quality time to spend with them. And as ma'am shared, follow her tips and see how wonders will happen. Your involvement will ensure success at every level of your child's life. So, ma'am, before we sign off, one last thing to you ask, how would you design some programs at schools so that parents get more involved? Generally, at many schools, what happens is there is lack of communication, and then parents are not aware what is happening in the school. Many a times we just see the teacher only on open house, that is barely twice a year. So, what would be the some programs for schools for parental involvement?
I would really advise schools to come up with charity programs where the child learns to. At the same time, At the same time, I would also advise parents to come up with activities to involve. They can have a Sunday with the child. That's it, just involve the child. No gadgets, no tabs allowed, no television also allowed. They should sit together, eat together, maybe even cook together. That may help them create that bonding. And few activities of kindness should also be taught to the students at school. I believe, daily activities also should be inculcated, like, folding the clothes, where even parents are, not doing it and not allowing. You have everything settled in life, yet the wardrobe is not organized, right? So even these activities should be taught to the child, wherein they learn a lot of patience and, keep things organized. They understand this is how it is. So I believe, activities of daily living also should be taught, at least spoke about by the teachers at
Right.
school.
Certainly, ma'am. Completely agree with you. You know, that small chores of daily, at least, as child grows up, they become independent, they become responsible, much more organized. They know how to put things where they have to, what is the space allotted for what kind. This make them disciplined also in life. You know, they need to follow some rules to lead a life which is much more futile. So this is about today's conversation. We got some wonderful tips on parental involvement in education and how schools can also have these small, small activities. So, Iman ma'am, thank you so much for enlightening us with this wonderful topic of parental involvement education. I'm sure today many parents must have understood the importance of their presence in their child's education. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.